Welcome back to our gardening channel. And today I'm gonna show y'all, this is the paper that we had on here this year, which is how it looks. So by leaving it out, I mean, it's in the sun, it's exposed, so you can see how brittle it starts to get. Still good for the paper that's in the soil, but what we're gonna do is just actually probably take this off. I'm thinking about maybe painting it like a white this year. Will be something different because I haven't painted anything in the whole garden since we actually moved to this property. But what I want to show you today was actually, when you're planting anything, you got to think about saving seeds for those plants that are more easily propagated through cuttings or runners. That's going to be our pups. That's going to be your best out, because then you don't have to wait for seeds to come up. This is what we did. This is just an update video where I showed you where when the strawberries start to put off runners, you can actually put the runners in little pots. So you can see this, what I did here. I haven't cut it yet. So what we're gonna do, and it's actually sent out its own runner. So I'm gonna cut that off. Look at that, it came out. It actually sent off its own runner into the bed. But this is where it actually came from. So all the runners that fell over the top of the bed, I actually took them and I planted them. And this was about a few months ago, I think. And so no real rush. Don't ever be in a rush when you're propagating. What I did was I let it sit in here, and instead of feeding itself off its own root, like taking, just say I would never do this. Just say they got a runner coming off of here, and then you go and you'll take this and you try to put this in soil, your possibility or your chances will be like greatly decreased. Even though it got some little roots coming out, I wouldn't try it like that. I will put it in some soil in a little pot, and just, let me take this one off, and just let it sit there in that pot for a few months until it gets its own roots. So it's like a baby now, right? This is the umbilical cord. Basically, this is the mother's stomach, and it's just been sitting in there for a few months. So now I believe that I'm seeing new growth. I think it's been in there long enough to kind of get its own roots going. I just go ahead on now and cut the card. So now you can actually do whatever you want with these. Give them away. But the chance of survival is so much greater now. Cut these cards. The chance of survival is so much greater now. Look at it, even putting roots at the bottom. So I know these pots are full of roots. So that's 1, 2. Even if you had like an empty spot right here and you want to fill in your own little strawberry thing, I wouldn't do it because they're so prolific. It's gonna fill out right here next year by itself. So that's 2. Just taking these out. I'm thinking of making some hanging baskets this year coming.
Oh, we gonna make DIY.
Yeah. Well, we already got a lot of little hanging baskets from the dollar store when we got that 90% off sale. So all we got to do is we're going to take this same soil and everything and just put it in a little hanging basket. Hopefully the next year it'll fill up itself. Got another one over here. Look at all those roots. I'm going to sit it back in there. I'm just showing you. See that? That's another one. Look at those roots. Wow.
How much is strawberry plant cost?
Oh no. Oh, they crazy high. Like when you go to the store, to the nursery and try to get some strawberry plants.
That's like that's 348.
They crazy. They crazy though. Too much, too high when you can just do this. Same thing here. They're growing all through the thing. Just cut those cards. So you can see how easy it is. I could have actually did this to all of these runners that's out here. All these runners, if I wanted. I didn't want to, but if you wanted to, you could have took all these little runners, put them in these little pots. Whenever they start running, I think they started running around what, May?
Mm-hmm.
May or June they started running, and we did these. So this is something that I wanted to show you. This is just a way to
Propagate.
Get your friends going. Some of your friends like, oh no, because you get those dry ones and you plant those dry ones and they're not so good. I've never had much success planting those little dried strawberry plants. And then you get online and they tell you, oh, you can't plant them too deep or you got to plant them up to the crown. This is the best way. Get them while they're alive. Actually transplant them. Let them sit up in that soil, make their own roots, and then cut that umbilical cord. Like, now you can kick them out the house. So wherever you want to plant them, I don't really want to plant these too many places but in a hanging basket, just to try to get something for aesthetics, for looks. Hopefully it looks good for when the spring comes around, but that's basically what we're going to do this year. Might even take some of these out. I think there might be a little too many in there, so I might even...
Crowded.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little crowded in there, so I'll take some of these out. Got some weeds coming up. Chamber bitters. This is the worst weed in Louisiana. But yeah, that's it. I don't want to hold you too long. Thank y'all for watching the Grow Family Network. And think propagation, think multiplication, because that's where your winning comes in. Over the years, there's going to be a lot of little upfront costs, but now that we got our strawberry plants, unless this whole thing maybe get crushed by this tree, but then they'll probably still be alive. We have to come in and dig some out and put them somewhere else. But for the most part, sometimes some of these things, once you get them on your property, unless you actually go out there and physically remove all of them, you'll always have it. So thank y'all for watching the Grow Family Network. And as always, grow, grow, grow. Sweet stuff. Peace.